Hello, let's talk about fiber. Send this video to the person who says, but what about fiber on a carnivore diet? How do you poop? Or the person that says, what about your microbiome? Okay, so this is a good question. I understand that fiber is totally pushed in the traditional medicine space, and it's hard to wrap our minds around the concept of removing fiber altogether. And so fiber is non-essential. The only benefits that I see it providing that are significant is that it can help to stabilize blood sugars and that it slows the release of other substrates into the bloodstream. It can also help to carry fat. So I've worked with various people who struggled with loose stools, and just including some squash can make all the difference if they've been having loose stools for so long. Just that gentle fiber can help to carry the fat through your system. Is it essential? No, not at all. In fact, when I was dealing with my chronic CDiff infection, I spoke with multiple infectious disease doctors, and fiber was one of the topics that I brought up with them. And they all confirmed that it was not essential. They also all confirmed that probiotics are basically a scam. They only work when you're taking them. Your microbiome is dictated by what you eat. I'm trying not to get on a rabbit trail about gut health. I just want to talk about fiber. First of all, let's cover the poop question. Of course, you will still go to the bathroom without fiber. In fact, some people have looser stools without fiber. Some people get constipated. When you pull fiber out of your diet, you are making a change to the colon and how it is used to working. So the colon is a muscle, just like many other muscles in our bodies, our biceps, our quads. Fiber stimulates that muscle. It causes it to be stimulated and to contract. So when you're no longer consuming fiber, it's not being stimulated the same way. It has to learn a new normal. You will still eliminate on your own. You might deal with constipation, you might deal with looser stools. Everyone's different in that transition period, but you have to give it a little bit of time to figure out what's going on and to figure out how to do that on its own without fiber, without being stimulated by fiber. Now, you still have nerves in your colon and they're going to work. You will still get that urge to go to the bathroom. It's just going to be different, and there can be a delayed effect. There can be a transitional period where your colon is learning to work in a new way. The other question or thing that comes up with what about fiber is, what about your microbiome? We hear talk about fiber feeding healthy gut bacteria, helping to produce butyrate. So this is something that I delved into deeply because obviously my gut health was a big concern with the chronic C. diff. Going carnivore was like, okay, so what am I doing to my microbiome? It turns out that God already thought of this. On a carnivore diet or meat-only diet, we actually do have something that is almost identical to fiber called non-starch polysaccharides. Non-starch polysaccharides come from meat that contains collagen and tendons. Collagen and tendons basically are fiber on a carnivore diet. Hey, Tyler. So these feed your microbiome just like fiber. These non-starch polysaccharides are a precursor to butyrate production, which is a precursor to GABA, which is a very beneficial and important thing that our brains need. I'm going to oversimplify here. I'm really trying not to get down rabbit trails because I love this topic. I just want to talk about fiber. So without fiber, our microbiome is still happy, it is still fed, it is still getting what it needs without dietary fiber. Send this video to the person who challenges you on the no fiber subject. I know a lot of people deal with this question and you wonder about it yourself. I wondered about it myself for a long time. If you are constipated still, another thing that is really going to help is saturated fat and sodium. Saturated fat is nature's laxative. Think about a baby. Babies don't need fiber to go poop. They poop all the time. All they do is consume breast milk. They're good. That's what you did once upon a time. You can do it again. Promise. Fiber has been linked to higher rates of colon cancer. All sorts of digestive issues can be seriously worsened with fiber. And when you remove it, you can actually lower inflammation hugely. There are certain types of fibers that I really stay away from. And I lean more on the softer fibers these days, like coming from squash. It just feels really gentle on my digestion. Also, shirataki or konjac noodles. The Miracle Noodle is a company I'm affiliated with. They make the konjac root noodles. It's practically zero carb. It's like 10 calories per bag, and it's zero oxalate. So it's basically just insoluble fiber and water. And those are very gentle. Whereas if you're eating a bunch of raw fibers, like salad greens, things that are raw, those can be really rough actually on your digestion, especially when they're insoluble and raw. So that's something to also be mindful of. Is I'm not against fiber, but someone who has had colon cancer or someone who has extremely inflamed digestive system or someone with SIBO should be very, very, very careful about fiber, because it can make all of that much worse. So there's my talk about fiber.